What is up, everybody? Bootman here, and we are back with another Marvel Snap video. In this video, I've actually had this requested quite a few times. I didn't think it was a topic people were interested in, but we're gonna be talking about the struggle, the psychological toll it takes on us getting to Infinite, especially this season. I'm in the same boat as all of you, and yeah, since I'm going through it with you, I have somewhat of a background. Studying like psychology and mental health and stuff like that, I wanted to take a moment and discuss this real quick. All right, but if you're new here, hi, my name is Chris. I also go by Bootman. If you love Marvel Snap, especially the competitive aspects like ranking up, tournaments, battle mode, all that kind of stuff, this is the channel for you. So make sure you subscribe, ring that notification bell. And we also have an awesome Discord community down in the description below, which can also serve as maybe like a support group for everybody going through the struggle together. And you also want to follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ because I do contests, monthly giveaways, and all that kind of stuff. All right. So this has actually come up multiple times. I've gotten emails, DMs on Twitter, and I just got a reply to one of my tweets. Yeah, this tweet actually said, "Might I suggest a video on this? I'm also struggling at 90 with 1,000 games and still seems a lot to me while working and managing my home and relationships. Want to drop the try to enjoy the fun, but still have that little there that compels me to reach 100. Check it out, I get it. So, yeah, I have reached Infinite multiple seasons in a row. I think like the last 3 seasons since I started playing. I started midway through the Miles Morales symbiote invasion season, and yeah, I've hit Infinite ever since then. All right, and this season I got this little clicker. Right, I was like, I'll count how many games. People want to know how many games it takes to Infinite. Usually, I hit it within a week. So yeah, maybe a few hundred. Well, I'm sitting at, you see that? 2,097 games, all right? And I'm not Infinite yet. I am sitting at rank 92 right now, and yesterday I was at rank 95, okay? Um, so yeah, this has been rough. It's been the roughest season thus far, and let's talk about it, all right? So the first thing is I have to be rational about this. Now, I'm not a licensed therapist or psychologist. I have no credentials at all, okay? I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic. I love reading books about psychology and mental health, mainly for my sobriety, but I also like to just learn about it and talk to others, and just about the topics. I've done therapy, all that stuff, okay? So one of the therapies that's my favorite is something called rational emotive behavioral therapy. And this, I love it because I fancy myself a very rational human being, but just an example of rational emotive behavioral therapy. And if you want book recommendations, I can link some in the comments or something like that. Anyways, it's about being rational. So for example, my brain, all of our brains come up with cognitive distortion, something called catastrophizing. It'll tell me if I don't hit infinite this season, it will be the worst thing ever, right? Well, RB teaches me to step back and say, okay, would it really be the worst thing ever? Is there anything that could be worse on this planet than me not reaching infinite, right? And that's where I'm able to create some space and get back into rational thinking and say, okay, it would be bad, like, but how bad, right? What are the negative effects? What are the things that would happen should I not reach infinite, all right? So that's why I create some distance and kind of get back into a good headspace. But something else that I've learned in my sobriety and in life in general is acceptance, okay? And I've come to accept, I'm like, you know what? I might not hit infinite this season. It might just not happen. And that catastrophizing, what happens, especially because I'm a YouTuber and a content creator, is if I don't hit infinite, I am not a good YouTuber. I'm not a good Marvel Snap channel. I don't have any credibility, no authority, stuff like that, right? Which is insane because again, going back to the rationality aspect of it, I can look around and there are a ton of YouTubers and streamers who never hit infinite and are very successful, right? So this is just something my brain creates. Now, there is some authority that comes along with this position, but just know that this has been the roughest season for a lot of people, and I have some theories about as to why, but most of the streamers, content creators that even top players I follow on Twitter, everybody struggled. Most of us hit infinite within days or week, like the first week. Some people like TLSG just hit infinite. I know it took Jeff Hoagland longer than usual. Took him a couple weeks, 2, 3 weeks. No, like 2 weeks, but this is across the board. So the other thing that I've come to understand, I don't have time to dive into, and I have some theories around it. I'm not sure how to completely go about testing it or even verbalizing it, but we're all playing in different pools. I watch an insane amount of content. I have streamers up like all day long watching them. I watch a ton of other YouTubers. I'm always watching content. And we are all in different pools of players, right? I see people playing decks that just work like crazy. They'll just run with it and people don't know what to expect. People just play into it. They'll play into snaps, just give up 8 cubes. But when I play them in my pool of players, people know them. They expect them. They either A, leave and give you minimal cube wins, or B, they stay in because they have a counter, right? This is what happens a lot for me. And that's where we see that little bouncing back and forth. So there is a healthy balance of luck and skill in this game, but I really hope people understand we're not all playing against the same people. So that's why when I see people saying like, oh, this deck is amazing, this is the best deck in the game, I'm like, maybe in your group of people, but in mine, it's not working out so hot, you know? So those are the main things. Acceptance, knowing when my brain's catastrophizing. And like, the thing is, if I don't hit infinite this season, nobody's gonna remember. Nobody's gonna care. My brain tells me that everybody's gonna be like, oh, there goes that guy Bootman. Remember February 2023 when that fool didn't hit infinite? I'm not that important. Nobody's gonna care, you know? But the last thing that I will discuss, actually two more quick things. One of them is time management, okay? First off, I'm very busy. I have a full-time job. I have a girlfriend, a beautiful girlfriend. I have a son who also plays Marvel Snap, so I can spend some time with him. But yeah, I also do freelance work. I have so many things going on. So when it comes to time, like getting in these 2,000 games takes a lot. All right, a lot of times when we're just hanging out watching TV, I'm just passively playing and stuff like that. But I make sure I get my other things done. Sometimes I treat Marvel Snap as like a reward. Like I will not play until I get this done. Or if I do get into a zone, I play a little bit too long, I make sure I get the other things done as well, whether it's chores, something for work, something for freelance, something for YouTube, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So there has to be that kind of discipline because if this thing gets you too messed up and starts interfering with other things, like you really need to get into that acceptance mode of, all right, maybe this just isn't the season for me. Maybe I'm not hitting infinite, right? But the absolute last thing is, I know just due to a lot of work on self-awareness, I have a mental block where I hate playing certain decks. I hate playing boring decks or decks that I find boring. But this season, if I want to hit infinite, I might have to ride the Shuri, Red Skull, Taskmaster list like all the way to infinite. It's consistent. I just find it boring. I find that deck boring. I find Death Wave boring. I find some of the top decks boring. The Thanos Lockjaw deck is a bit more intricate, is more a bit creative, but I'm not that great with it. And I plan on practicing it maybe in like battle mode and stuff, but I might just have to play some of the most boring decks that I find all the way up to him. All right. But anyways, like I said, just know that you're not alone. There are so many people struggling this season. This season has been rough due to all of the balance changes, the meta changes. Meta's constantly changing. We're facing so many different decks. Sandman's coming up, which wasn't here last week, and we got to work around that, all sorts of stuff. So we're in this together. Use the Discord community as like a support group if you need be. I try to answer as many people as possible in my emails and stuff like that. By the way, don't DM me on Twitter. It's hard for me to see those messages, okay? Just reply to me on Twitter, email me, tag me on Discord, whatever, all right? So you're not alone. And that's all I got for this video. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, ring the notification bell. We're trying to hit as close to 8,000 subscribers by the end of the month as possible. And we do a bunch of cool stuff. We got a Discord community. We do contests, giveaways, all sorts of cool stuff. I do 3 season passes every single month, but you got to follow me on Twitter at BootmanMSTZ, all right? So that's all I got. You're not alone in this thing, but have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you next time.